Hello, John Harrison here. Just thought I'd quickly introduce myself because in the films that follow you won't see me, you'll just see the work I'm doing, the pen I'm using, the paper. It's great to meet you all, even though it's virtual, but in these strange times this is actually all we can do, so we have to make the best of a really strange situation. I was delighted to be invited to do this. It's my take on line and wash, which isn't the traditional way of doing things, but it seems to work for, well, it works for me and hopefully quite a few people. So hope you enjoy it. So here you go. I'll just finish this in my rather appropriately named mug and we'll get started. Hope you enjoy it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this this drawing demo in the absence of a live demo or workshop with real live people. What I'm going to do is to do a line and wash drawing of this lovely scene, which is the footpath down into Little Stainforth. That's Stainforth Hall, which is the white building in the distance. And I'm going to do this in my style. And the first video will be the line drawing bit. And these are the pens I'm going to use. If you've seen my work before or been to a workshop or demo, you'll probably know that I don't use a pencil under drawing, but I'm confident and experienced enough to go straight in with a pen, purely because I think it lends a looseness and a liveliness to the drawing that you won't get if you're going over a previously prepared careful pencil drawing with a pen, which tightens it up. The pen I'm going to use for the main drawing is a 0.1 Unipin, and then I'll use this 0.2, perhaps even a thicker one, a 0.5 look. But the thing that they all have in common is that because of the way I do line and wash, which is line first and paint afterwards, that they do need to have waterproof ink in, which these do reliably and consistency. So without further ado, let's get cracking. And my approach to doing this is to kind of pretend that I'm actually stood on the lane. And so if I was there, the first thing I would do is to draw this line, which is the top of this wall. And you can't see because I'm kind of behind the camera, but what I'm doing is I'm looking at the scene rather than looking down at my at the sheet of paper. And talking about paper, the paper I'm using for this demonstration is Saunders Waterford. It's 300 gram. And it's in a rough finish, which you'll see demonstrated better. Its quality gave a lovely broken finish to the washes when I put them on. When I get around to that stage, I put them on. Right, let's have this. That's the upper section of the barn, and we'll come here. Lots of people say to me, one of the comments people say is, oh, I can't draw a straight line, you know, in buildings. Well, actually, to be fair, there are no straight lines in buildings of this age and type, which is one of the reasons I probably use old farm buildings and cottages for a subject rather than crisp modern buildings, because you can get away with a broken characterful line. And let's put this feature in here. A lot of these lines and the holes in them will make a bit more sense when I get to the final stages. Some lines there. Keep thinking I wish I should know more about the vernacular of the architecture and the buildings in in the Yorkshire Dales. Wish I knew what all these, the term for all these bits and bobs that I mention are. So perhaps somebody can enlighten me. Right, that's enough of that building. The thing to remember when you're doing a sketch or a drawing of this nature is that it's too easy to fall into the trap and therefore put yourself under immense pressure to fall into the trap of thinking that you've got to accurately draw every single stone or brick or feature, which of course isn't true, because we're not after doing an architectural presentation for a planning proposal or an accurate building. It's a piece of art, it's a sketch. So that's that building in place. So let's get some of these others in before I go too much further. Of course, as I said, I always prefer to work without a pencil underdrawing, but I've realised that, again, at workshops, there are many people who have a sheer look of horror and panic on the face when they realise how I work. But I never actually insist that people slavishly follow my methods. Give them a crack if you like. At the end of the day, all your waste is a sheet of paper and some time. And at the moment, we've all got plenty of time. But if it really does fill you with the prospect of working straight in with pen, if it really does fill you with dread and horror, then by all means do a pencil framework, a safety net, if you like, underneath. But I would advise against doing every single line in pencil, because you need to leave something for the. There you go. That's Little Stainforth Hall. Let's just get this roof in position. And this photograph, which is not one of mine, I found it on one of the free online sites. Is a cracking picture, and actually it plays right into my hands, because what I do like to do is to leave an area unpainted. But this is a gift, because this area, this wall, you know, your eye's naturally drawn to that. So said, job's done. These shapes I'm filling in here will kind of disappear when I get to the paint stage. They'll disappear under a really strong shadow colour. So let's put that wall across there and that one there. Okay, right, there's another building here which might look a little complicated, but I really do want to get most of this done. Certainly to get most of the skeleton of the drawing. There you go. Sorry, I'm doing something that I tell workshop attendees not to do. I'm kind of holding my breath while I right, that's a bit of a wall there. There's some lovely shadows in this drawing. Let's do that there. Move this out the way now. So what I'm going to do next is to get some of these shapes in. These shapes are probably doorways and windows, and they're kind of the and even though I'm going to paint all this with a shadow paint when I get to the painting stage, I do like to put some, not sure what that is there in that thing, but I think it's a hedge, and I really do like to put some cross hatching underneath it, because if you put a shadow colour over the plain paper with not much else, the shadow, it can look a bit light. So let's go back over here. Even though I said don't do every brick and every stone, there are certain areas and there are keystones which do stand out. So I think it's kind of vital to get those in. Let's put some. See, the thing about these fine-tipped pens is that the only way to have any kind of idea of tone is to use cross-hatching, because unlike a pencil, you can't vary the line, you can't blend the line, so you've got to rely on, let's do this. This pen is actually drying out a bit, which I don't mind, because it gives you a lovely varied, really nice varied line. So you're not getting a line that looks as though it's been ruled with a technical pen and there's no life or character to it. So again, another of my things is that I tend not to use paint everywhere. In other words, I'm just putting a few lines in just to indicate these tiles. I'll come back to this. And across here it looks a bit boring there, but I'll just bring this down there. And it's starting to give some shape to and an idea of the setting that it's in. And there's an awful lot of foliage up on the hills and up everywhere else. But that'll all be described at the colour stage. Right, so I'm going to switch to the 0.2. And no, I'm not. I'm going to use the 0.5 because I think this is probably best. Except that 0.5 isn't really running well. Sorry, I should have planned this better. And one of the things I like to achieve in a drawing is this illusion of depth and distance. And one of the little tricks is to do what I've just done there. Architects call these profile lines, and I use them to kind of pull forward, you know, the edge of like the top of a wall. There. While I'm on, I'll just strengthen this gate a little bit, but the final bits will be added at the paint stage. So yeah, so here we go. Look, see, this is a kind of, I like to exaggerate it, and you can use the pen to strengthen lines where there may be a bit more of a shadow, but these shadows will be explored further. I'll actually add those in with paint rather than this pen, because if I did all the shadows with the pen, it would be here forever. And the whole idea is for this to be kind of a quick demonstration. There you go, you see. So I'll go back to a lighter pen now. This is a 0.2, and just get some more, put some stonework in. Again, I don't want to fall into this trap of having every single stone drawn in. So I shall probably, but some of it will be populated. I'll put some wash over the walls, and I'll put some more line work over the top of the wash, rather than have everything, and rather than have everything drawn and then it's just a two-stage process. Building up a line and wash piece in my style tends to be a 2, 3, even 4-stage process. This is stage 1, which is the line drawing, and this is kind of the equivalent, I guess, of my style of drawing line and wash. I should probably use paint on there rather than lines, because it's in the distance. I just want to join these up. I won't put much more line work in the wall here. So pick up these shapes, make some sense out of these shapes. And they're odd, it looks like odd bits are falling out the wall there onto the grass verge. So that for the moment is stage 1 of the drawing.